Have you ever watched a conference call or sat down with investors or went to an event and they start speaking Hebrewish, like speaking words that you don't even understand or anything, like as a beginner, like IPO, what's an IPO, what's a direct listing, what's the ticker symbol, what's a bull market, what's a bearish, I'm holding, I'm short, I'm long. If you ever wonder what that means, you're here right. I'm gonna make videos about explaining the terminology used in the stock market or in investors' language. Same as me, I was confused in the beginning about all these words. First time I ever joined a conference call, I heard these words. My mind didn't even know what they were even saying, So stay tuned. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and turn on the alarm bell, and leave a comment below if you have any questions and if you found it useful or not. So I'm going to start now explaining some terminologies. There's thousands of words, even more than that out there to explain. So I'm going to divide these terminologies up into series of videos. And I'm going to start one by one. And let me know what you think in the comments, if you really liked it or not, or if there's any particular word or a particular phrase or a particular sentence you didn't understand. Well, let me know in the comments and I can try to explain it to you. And we're going to go as well through the financial statement terminology, such as PA ratio, what's APS, what's a diluted EPS, what's a basic EPS, what's a price, what's a P over S, what's a B over S, what all of this, I'm going to explain in the few coming next videos. But today we're going to start with the short-term video, just explaining the few things that are used nowadays. I try to keep my videos short, from 5 to 10 minutes, max 15 minutes, so everyone can learn and it's easy, so it's not overload for everyone's mind. Okay, let's start. This is going to be really beginners, so if you're kind of advanced, you can skip to next coming videos, but I'm going to try to keep it each week, upload a terminology video. First word is ticker symbol. Basically, a ticker symbol is the symbol. It's usually a 3 letters or 4 letters symbol that represents the stock you're talking about. Such as Beyond Meat, the ticker symbol is BYND. Basically, a ticker symbol is known for in between stock exchanges and everything. An easier way to use for us as investors to identify a particular company. So if you go type on any broker exchange, you type, for example, let's talk about Beyond Meat. You go type Beyond Meat. There could be other companies named Beyond Meat Inc., named Beyond Meat Corporation, Beyond Meat Company, etc. So that's why a ticker symbol is a much simpler and better way to identify a stock. Second word is bull market, or I'm bullish on it. Have you ever heard someone say I'm bullish on this stock, on Apple, or I'm bullish on this stock? So what a bull market is basically, it's basically a condition where the financial market is going up only, rising. It could be commodities, stock market, bonds, treasury bonds, whatever. So when I say I'm bullish, say for example on Tesla, that means I believe Tesla is gonna keep going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And have you ever heard someone say, I'm bearish on this stock market, or I'm bearish on this stock, or I'm bearish on the stock market? What is a bear market? A bear market is basically the opposite of a bull market. So that means everything is gonna go down. That means people believe that there's a crisis, or there's a correction coming, or there's bad news for a company coming. For example, in 2008, some people, they said they were bearish, like Michael from The Big Short. He came up in 2006, 2 years earlier than the financial crisis, and he said, but he didn't say, but he was bearish on the housing market. He believed that the whole housing market is going to go down, and he betted the housing market is going to collapse. That's what is being as bearish or bear market. And then everything followed. Long term. What's a long Or have you ever heard someone saying, I'm long on this stock or I'm long on this company? What long basically means is that I don't look for the short-term gains. I believe that this company is gonna stay for the next 5, 10 to 20 years. Long means I'm looking for the long-term vision. The next word is I'm short, or I'm short on this market, or I have short interest in this company. What does that mean? That means that same as the bearish market, I believe in the short term that is going to go down. So I have a short interest in this company. That means instead of opening a buying position, I open a sell position. I bet it's going to go down. Buy and sell. What does buy mean? Buying a stock or selling a stock. Buying a stock is basically you buy the stock for a short or long-term vision. You basically buy a stock that you believe is going to go up. And selling a position is the opposite. So sell basically means that you believe the stock is going to go down. Same as what happened, for example, with GoPro, or what happened with the oil market back in Corona times. Before Corona, for example, if you open a sell position in oil, you basically are making money when the oil price goes down. And if you open a buy position, you make money when the price goes up. Someone says I'm holding, that means that this company is not a buy now, neither is a sell. They don't know exactly the situation of this company. That means he's just holding his stocks. He has stocks in this company. He's just holding. He's not selling, he's not doing anything. He's not buying more, he's not selling, he's just holding that company until he figures out what's going to happen in the future. Have you ever heard someone, are you a dividend investor or are you a growth investor? So let's explain what is a dividend stock or a dividend investor. A dividend investor is basically a person who invests in stocks that give him dividends. What a dividend is basically a passive income or a piece of the pie of the company, of the earnings they get. So as you know, the company reports 4 times a year. Each quarter reports their earnings, how much they gain if they had a loss or gains, if there's any news coming out, if there was any deals committed between them, and what's their future expectation and forecast. In these quarter earnings, usually a company declares a dividend. This dividend is a percentage, a yield percentage, so there's something called dividend yield. It's basically a percentage of the earnings. So if it's 5% and say for example they made $10 profit, 5% of $10 you're getting 5 cents in return for each share you own. So a dividend investor is more focused on the passive income and the long term. And then a growth investor is basically an investor that thinks that this company has, or this company within this market sector has a big potential for a lot of growth. For example, such as now EV companies or energy or climate change companies or solar power energy, sustainability companies, they have a future potential growth compared to the old fossil fuel companies. You know what I mean? So a growth company is basically a company, or growth investor is a guy who believes or invests in only companies such as startups or a company that has a high potential of growth for returning his investment multiple X's, such as 50x, 100x. Say for example like Tesla. Tesla was a growth stock. If you invested back in the days, you invested in Tesla, that means you were a growth investor. You believe that this company had a high potential return. It might not pay dividends, might not pay anything, but the stock, say for example you buy the stock now at $10, say in 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, this stock is gonna be 100 or even 500. So you know what I mean now. So I would suggest you to figure out what type of investor is. Honestly, for me personally, I cannot advise you, but personally, if you have a lot of money, invest in dividends. If you're still starting, and what do I mean by a lot of money? What I mean by a lot of money is at least 250 or 200k minimum. That's for you to be able to live on this passive income each year. And if you're still young or you have little money, you want to get a higher return, you should definitely invest in a growth company where you look into new market sectors which you believe are going to be in the future, such as the air taxis, NFTs, EVs, autonomous driving, robotics, startup companies, medical fields, and many more. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to stay tuned for the next coming videos, and don't forget to turn on the alarm bell. Really appreciate it. It will help me a lot. It will help this video to spread out to all the new investors such as you who are still looking in the terminology of stock markets and they want to start. Thank you very much. I wish you a nice day. Stay tuned.